What's going on, guys? This is Coach MK here, and in this video you're gonna learn how to get to 10% body fat in 6 steps. So 10% body fat seems to be the magic number. That's when you have a full six-pack. That's when it's visible outside, not just in good lighting. It's that lean muscular look that we're ultimately all after, and in this video you're gonna learn the 6 steps that you need to take in order to achieve it and finally feel confident with your physique. So let's get right into it. So what do you need to do in order to lose body fat? In general terms, what you need to do is manage your energy balance so that you're in an energy deficit or a calorie deficit. What does that mean? It means consuming less calories than you burn on average. And when you create that calorie deficit, what happens is your body taps into your fat storages in order to use them for energy to fuel that deficit. So to get to 10% body fat, what you're probably gonna have to do is count calories. Now, to lose fat in general and get in sort of good shape, you don't need to be counting calories, but if you want that chiseled look, then you're probably gonna have to do it because you need a bit more precision when it comes to your intake and energy expenditure so that you're sure that progress is happening. So what do you need to do? Basically take your weight in pounds, multiply it by 12, and that's the amount of calories that you're gonna start off with in terms of calorie intake. So if you weigh 200 pounds, multiply that by 12, and that's the calories for fat loss that you're gonna start off with. That's thing number one. The second step that you're gonna need to do in order to get to 10% body fat is going to be to track your calorie intake and then track your body weight as well, and do that daily. Why do you do that daily? Because there's gonna be fluctuations and you're not gonna be sure what's happening. So what you wanna do is measure your weight every single day and then you average it out for the week and compare week to week. Now, our goal here is to lose between 0.5 and 1% of our body weight per week. So if you're losing any faster, you need to increase your calorie intake, and if you're losing slower, then you need to decrease it by 100, 200 to 500 calories. So let's recap real quick. First, you start off by multiplying your body weight in pounds by 12, and that's the amount of calories that you're gonna start off with, and then you track your calorie intake, make sure you're eating that many calories per day and not more or not less. And then what you do is you also measure your weight every single day, take weekly averages and compare them week to week. If you're losing faster than 1% of your body weight per week, you increase your calorie intake to slow down the rate of fat loss and weight loss. If you're losing slower, then you need to increase your calorie deficit by eating less, and you go through that process every week until you get to 10% body fat. Now, the third step that you need to implement is to start eating more protein. Why do you need to do that? Because protein is the building block of muscle, and if you don't eat enough protein, what you're gonna do while losing weight is you're gonna lose a lot of muscle as well. So what you need to do to make sure that doesn't happen is, first off, eat enough protein, and second off, you're gonna have to work out with sufficient resistance, but we're gonna talk about that a bit later. So let's get back to that first point, which was eating enough protein. How much protein do you need to be eating per day? Well, you need to be eating around 0.8 grams per pound of body weight per day, every single day. So that's how much protein you need to be eating, and what that's gonna do is you're gonna have sufficient protein to maintain your muscle mass while losing fat. The fourth step you're gonna need to implement is utilize strategies to minimize hunger. So obviously when you're in a calorie deficit, at some point you're gonna start getting quite hungry, especially the lower your body fat percentage gets and the longer into a deficit you've been. So what you need to do is have some strategies in place to mitigate that problem. So the first strategy and the first way to decrease the amount of hunger that you're going to be experiencing is, again, eat enough protein. Why? Because protein is the most satiating macronutrient of the three. So eat enough protein, we're already doing that. The second strategy is stop consuming liquid calories. So if you're having liquid calories, stop that and substitute those calories with solid food. Why do you want to do that? Because liquids are digested a lot faster than solid food, and so you get hungry faster. The third way to decrease hunger is to eat more vegetables. Now, why is that? It's because vegetables contain a lot less calories per gram, so they take up a lot of space in your stomach, but they don't have a lot of calories in them. Now, your stomach has so-called stretch receptors, and when they feel a stretch, when they register a stretch, they release a satiety hormone and you feel fuller. Yet at the same time, if you eat vegetables, you're not going to be consuming a lot of calories, so it's a win-win. And the fourth and final way to decrease hunger on a diet is to eat slower. So you have two main hunger and satiety hormones, ghrelin and leptin. And what you need to know about them is that they take a little time to adjust. So if you eat too fast, if you eat your whole meal in 5 minutes, then they won't have the time to tell you to get off the kitchen table and stop eating. So what you need to do is slow down, eat slower, and that's gonna help your body tell you when it's time to get off that kitchen table and go do something else. So try to take at least 20 minutes to finish your meals, and that's gonna do you a lot of good when it comes to managing hunger. Now let's move on to step number 5, and that is do resistance training. You want to be training with enough resistance to maintain your muscle mass. You want to give your body a stimulus to make it understand that it needs to keep that muscle, because otherwise, in a state of a negative energy balance, what your body is going to do is it's going to get rid of muscle as well as fat. So we want to keep the muscle. That's why we do resistance training. And what you want to do more specifically is work out with at least 60% of your 1 repetition maximum when it comes to the resistance that you pick. That's going to help you give your body a strong enough signal to keep the muscle and burn fat instead. And for the final 6th step, what I want you to do is start walking more. Walking helps you burn a lot of calories. At the same time, it is not as exhausting as doing cardio and other forms of physical training. So what I want you to do is start off with 6,000 steps in the beginning per day, and then you can ramp it up to 10,000 steps per day and beyond. And what that's going to help you do is burn more calories without interfering with your resistance training, and so you're going to get the best of both worlds. You're going to keep your muscle through resistance training, you're gonna burn more calories through walking, and it's gonna help you not have to create that calorie deficit by reducing your intake too much. Now, if you have any questions regarding these 6 steps that I just gave you, make sure to leave them in the comments below. By the way, if you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure to subscribe right now and click that notification bell to get more videos like this on training, men's style, personal development, and all that good stuff. And now what I want you to do is watch these videos next to continue your improvement.